Welcome to the Luxe Leap, where bold women turn ambition into action. I'm your host, Reland Logan, and together we'll explore the big moves, smart strategies, and extraordinary branding behind unstoppable businesses. So I have a question. What if writing your marketing didn't have to take hours or feel like pulling teeth? Chloe Jenkins is a copywriter and messaging strategist who helps women business owners turn the uniqueness of their work into words that truly connect. With over a decade of experience, including time in the ad agency world and a detour into the wine industry after Burnout, she now focuses on supporting wellness brands and creative service providers who want to grow with clarity and confidence. She also teaches women how to use AI tools to amplify their voice, not replace it, so they can write faster, sound like themselves, and market with messaging that actually is guided by sales strategy. If you're ready to finally find the words that make people say, I need this, this is your moment. Please welcome the wordsmith helping women own their voice and book more clients, my friend, Chloe. Hey, Chloe.
Hi. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to talk to you.
Oh my goodness. Well, we're going to have a blast just like every time we connect.
Yeah.
But I would love to hear, and obviously our listeners would love to hear, what inspired your Luxe Leap, that bold move that started your journey from ordinary to extraordinary?
Oh man. Well, I guess it starts back when I was a copywriter, just a humble copywriter at an ad agency and writing line after line. And I got so burnt out. I was writing for credit bureaus and car companies and pet food. And it was just too much. I was like, I like writing, but I am losing my soul here. So at the same time, I was like loving wine, because who doesn't love wine? I would go wine tasting. I would drink with my friends. And I was like, you know what? I need a hobby. I need something else to just light me up. So I started taking some wine certification classes just for fun. Part of me was like, I want to be the one who knows everything about wine when we go wine tasting, and be the nerd who knows more than everyone else. So I started learning about wine, and eventually I was like, wait, can I just do this for my work instead? I like wine more than all the clients I'm working for. So after getting some certifications, I basically did marketing in the wine world. So I moved from ad writing to wine writing, which was a lot of fun. Really cool, just switching industries and doing something different, and learning from an industry that was really old school. A lot of the people in wine have only been working in wine their whole life. So there's a totally different mindset. So I learned a lot. I got a lot of free wine. And it was a fun experience. But after working in wine for a while, I wouldn't say I got burnt out again. I'm also, I don't know, I hop around a lot. I get creative. I have a lot of ideas. So I was like, okay, I need a switch. Also, the industry is it's going through a big change right now. And so it was about a year ago, I realized the wine industry is changing. People aren't drinking as much wine. It was going through a lot of struggles. And eventually I kind of switched from wine over to working now with, I started with health and wellness professionals. Now I work with a lot of just amazing women who are doing really cool, unique stuff, whether it's being a dietitian and helping people with wellness, or travel planners, or mindset coaches, business coaches, all kinds of people. So that's where I am now. Yeah, I'm not sure if that answers the question or not.
Oh, it totally answers the question. I mean, it's really just your journey. So
yeah.
how did we get here?
Yeah.
But where was I going with this? I love it when my brain just goes into another stratosphere somewhere, somehow, some way. But what I was going to say was, I just love that you recognize that your creative brain needs diversity.
Mm-hmm.
Or you're like, I can't do this. Whether it's diversity in what you're writing, because, writing ad copy is it's monotonous.
It can be.
Yeah, it's not my favorite. And then when you said dog, pet food, I was like,
Yeah.
that's bark, bark, meow. No, thank you. And just doing one thing like wine, even if you're doing all the things, it's still a box.
Yeah.
And so I get it. I'm like you. I'm like, it's women service-based businesses. I can't just do coaches and consultants. I can't just do retail, because that's what my background is actually in. Like,
Oh
I
yeah.
needed the ability to feel like life is changing.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
hear you. So how does your personal story influence the brand that you've built?
Um, oh, that's a good question. Well, I guess the brand I've built um really hinges on like working with people who are truly unique. And I'm not just saying that like everyone's unique, but like I've realized that a lot of the women I work with, they bill themselves as one thing, like a dietitian or a travel planner or a business coach. But then you start talking to them, and they're actually so many more things. Like, um, I worked with this one woman who she's like a health coach, like a nutrition coach, but she also incorporates like sustainability and mindset work, and she does Reiki on the side and like yoga and all these other things. And I'm like, okay, hold on. You're underselling yourself. There's so much more to you than what your messaging is saying right now. So, like, let's dive into all those things. And it's really hard. It's really hard and overwhelming. Like, for you as a person, when you're like, I need to, talk to people about what I do and get them on board. But I think they want to hear this part about me, and all this other stuff is so confusing. I don't even know how to talk about that. And so for me, like, I'm just a naturally very curious person, and a lot of people I work with, I just want to talk to them for hours, anyways, which is fun. But also, I think it's helpful in like getting to the root of who someone really is and what they bring to their brand. And not just the, I do this for you and I help you do this, but the much larger picture of how their unique experience actually really transforms what someone's going through. Um, so I think just in talking about my brand, it's so much more than just like giving you copywriting to sell your offer. It's understanding who you are on a deeper level, and who your business is on a deeper level, and then the people you're helping, who they are on a deeper level, and kind of bridging that gap between them through a message that is not just superficial, but really getting at those deeper emotions that connect people together.
It's so it's so important. I think, to what you're saying. And that's why I personally start with strategy first. And those interviews are 2 hours. And some
Yeah,
people are like, oh my God, 2 hours. I'm like, yeah, I need to know
they,
you.
they fly by. Like suddenly we're a half an hour over the call, and I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like we got lost talking, and no one even realized how long it was.
Exactly. And you're right. It's like we say 2 hours and it sometimes is three,
Yeah.
but it was
Gotta
three
pick it
hours
up.
of fun. Like you don't
Yeah,
realize time has gone by. Like there's all these elements to it. And so,
so true.
um, I love that you are similar in that way of really wanting to know the person,
Yeah.
because it's what makes people different and
Yeah.
it's important.
And I've worked with I don't know how many people now who, after just having those strategy calls, they're like, "Oh, no one's ever asked me that before." Or like they're like, "Oh, the last writer I worked with didn't ask me any of this. They just went and wrote something and it didn't feel like me." And I'm like, "I don't even know how I would write your messaging without getting all this information and feeling like it was a true representation of you. Like you need all of that." Like that's why ChatGPT can't really write for you without all this training, because like you need to pull out all that stuff, but you also have to know what to pull out. Um, and as a person just doing your own thing, like you don't know what you're supposed to be telling ChatGPT or putting into your messaging.
Absolutely not. Like if you're watching this on YouTube, I definitely just made a face, but it drives me nuts what people are like inputting and assuming that they're getting good quality writing.
Right.
And it's like, it's also trained to just like tell you that you're right all the time and that you're like the
Yeah.
greatest person all the time. It is like a golden retriever.
I love that.
Like ChatGPT is a golden retriever, happy to just make you happy.
Uh-huh.
So if you don't have like the brand strategy skill set that I hold, or the copywriting skill set that Chloe holds, and honestly, she also holds strategy because I can recognize that just having this conversation with you. It it really matters. I actually hear a lot when I do those strategy calls, Chloe, and I wonder if you hear this too, where people go, wow, you didn't first ask me about who I serve and like what my clients like. I'm like, I care, yes, but I care more about you and I have the tools and the ability to pinpoint the right person for you based on the way that you talk to me. I
Right.
need a very high level version of it and we can move on.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. The
It's
questions are so different.
they're
Well, and
different.
because people are trained, they do a course or a template and it's like, okay, who's your person? How old are they? What coffee or what's their coffee order? Like all these things that are really
Oh man.
not important in the messaging. Like, sure, maybe like tangentially for a one-off post, but like you need so much more than that.
I want to burn the concept of avatars to the ground.
Yes.
And I never want to hear about them again. Because we are so multifaceted as humans. Like
Mhm.
I wish we spent more time on psychographics and like demographics, but
Yeah.
people don't know how to talk about psychographics.
Yeah.
Most people aren't trained in psychology.
No. No. And it's hard. It's hard to think about that stuff, especially when this isn't your field. Like, you know, it's people who are trained in other things and like trying to do this for yourself. I mean, even as a copywriter, trying to do my own messaging
It's
was
hard.
almost impossible. It took me months. And I was like, wait a minute, this is what I do for other people. Why am I struggling? But it's so hard to like look at yourself from an outside perspective
Yeah.
and think about that. Think about your audience, think about your people, understand the psychographics when you're struggling to even like understand what you're doing or how to talk about that.
I also find people don't talk to people enough to even understand to begin with. So they're
Mm-hmm.
doing what they assume, not what's actually real.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Or what ChatGPT told them to do in a, strategy audit that it did for them.
A strategy audit that's just really regurgitating everything you wanted to hear.
Right. Exactly.
Wow, we are ruthless today. I'm kind of here for it. Well, let's swing it back to these questions.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
was the moment you realized your brand had momentum and that people really get it?
Um, I think when I started talking about ChatGPT in terms of like what you can do to it, in some of my early kind of rebranding, because I was moving from like being just a pure copywriter for like health and wellness to like giving you more of the tools to help you do it yourself. But I started saying like, I'm getting ChatGPT wine drunk because I'm using all this wine experience I have and infusing that into my bot to make it a little bit tipsy, which is good. Like you want your bot to be a little bit tipsy because otherwise it's too sober. It has no idea what it's doing. So like, let's get it a little drunk. And I think just I think shifting the perspective of using AI in terms of you don't just have to accept what it gives you. You have a lot of control over the output, but you have to be doing it the right way. I think that's when it kind of clicked and people were like, oh, I don't just plug in a prompt and use what it gives me and post that. Like I can actually like
No.
change it.
Oh my
um,
goodness. I I am just obsessed with how you think about that. Like, I'm just gonna get it tipsy. It's
yeah.
fine. It just needs to be a little drunk, drunk enough not to make horrible decisions, but like drunk
Yeah.
enough to like make the riskier choice.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
here
like
for it.
when you're at happy hour with your best friend. It's like, your best friend after a couple drinks, the way that they would talk about you and talk about your work and your business. That's what I want ChatGPT to be doing. Like talking you up like a best friend who knows you and also knows the right way to talk about you that you would never really say out loud.
Oh my goodness. I I just like so everybody in case you're were wondering about this from a drink perspective, this is somebody who has either consumed a bottle of wine, has had two margaritas but has not started taking shots. That's all you
Right.
need to know.
Right. We're not like throwing up in the bathroom drunk. We're just having a couple drinks and having fun. Very important distinction.
Oh my goodness. I have no idea what's going on today, but I literally went to my boyfriend this right before we got on this call. Maybe I was mentally prepping for it, Chloe. I don't know. I go, "Hey, can we get margaritas for dinner tonight?" He goes,
Yeah.
"Margaritas?" I go, "I want margaritas for dinner tonight. The rest of it
For
is
dinner.
fine."
I love that.
Oh man, I am gonna write some wild things later this evening,
Oh,
just
yeah.
because I said that. But I have an addiction to passion fruit mezcal margaritas, everyone.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, top notch. or computer. It's clearly because I'm staring at one. Maybe I'm drunk. I'm not. Cucumber mojitos.
Oh, yes. I love a
Ugh,
good mojito.
best thing to drink in the summertime. Okay, everybody, now that you've been drunk off of just our talking, and now making this next question oh so interesting. How would you describe the unique energy or essence of your brand in one sentence?
Oh, well, a little bit buzzed. No.
Clearly.
Um, the unique energy, I think, I mean, actually maybe the opposite of that. Like I feel very um like I just want to understand you. Like really that's kind of what I bring to it. Like I listen and understand, and I mean maybe it is like having happy hour with your best friend. Like we're just here to chat and get to know you, and I want to know everything because then I can put it into your writing. Um
I love that.
yeah.
Everybody, she's the really amazing, caring Dee Dee. I'm the friend who will get you trashed. Um, oh, good golly. So, what decision or strategy most contributed to your growth this past year?
Oh, a couple things. One of them was investing in coaching and more education. Um, and then one of my coaches actually kind of pushed me to embrace AI more. And I think because of that, I leaned into learning about AI, how to make it work, how to make my strategies work with it. And so then I think so one is coaching, just getting guidance and help for the business side, and then embracing AI and realizing it's not going anywhere. People are using it. I need to catch up, get ahead, and figure out how it works with my work because, I don't want to become irrelevant. I want to
Yeah.
use it and build from it and everything. So I think just I know a lot of copywriters are kind of ignoring AI or saying, talking a lot of crap about it. And I think yes, it has its issues, but I think it's kind of a losing battle to try to make people forget about it and ignore it. So I think just embracing it has been really important for me.
It's not going away. I
Yeah.
think that is the point. And I had made a comment. Oh, that was the comment I made on your post. It
Oh,
just like light bulb. I had made the comment that it helps me become more strategic. And what
mm,
I had meant by that was that it has forced me to ask better questions because
yeah.
if I don't like I'm not the person who will stick with the first output.
Yeah.
I think they're generally trash. And it's also what's led me to build a lot of like custom GPTs and like insane prompts to your point, to get to the core message and the tone and terminology and tempo that I want in that. I was sharing with a girlfriend earlier today. She's like, well, how do you do that? And I was like, well, I have one bot that literally just analyzes how you talk.
Yeah.
Like, and I use that plus a strategy that I built. Like we take all these pieces and I
Hmm.
pull all that together. And the output is always people being like, this is watching somebody in their genius zone. It sounds just like me. I've always wanted to say that. Like, yes, it goes a lot faster with AI than without it. But it's the idea that I can ask better questions now and I can dig deeper because I know how to use it strategically. And maybe that's because I have a strategist mindset. And that is one of
Hmm.
my superpowers, that I was able to see that first and recognize patterns and play
Yeah.
with it that way. But then it turned into people telling me that AI doesn't think for me. And I was like, at what point did I say that it thought for me? It made me more
Yeah.
strategic. No point did I say it thinks for me. So
Yeah.
thank you, sir, for your MIT article that said that it makes people dumber. I'm actually a lot smarter because of it, also making more money because of it. So it sucks to be you. And to the sweet lady who was like, it doesn't think for you, that I sent on a Google like rat race to go watch podcasts that I'm talking about it and you're not, you're welcome.
Yeah. It's true. I mean, when you have a strategic brain and you download that into either a custom GPT or a prompt or whatever, it's helping you work faster with what you
Yes.
already know. We're not letting it do the thinking. Like, we don't want it to think. We're telling it how to think for we're telling it how we want it to think using our model.
Yes.
And it's such a big difference.
And so when that part's happening, your brainstorming gets quicker because then you
Yeah.
can be like, I don't like that. I like this. We need to switch
Mhm.
this. That has to happen. Oh my gosh, clearly I'm not asking the question correctly. This is driving me insane. New way to ask the question. And it's like your brain, I believe all people see patterns to a certain extent. Some of us just see them faster. So it's like playing that game of like, me and you have our templates. We know how to do this. We've spent the time learning how to do it without AI. And
Yeah.
I think that's a very important piece that people are missing. You can't just like assume that you're going to become a magic copywriter when you've never actually done it on your own. You
Hmm.
can't assume you're going to become this great brand strategist when you've never done it on your own. Like we do come preloaded with information.
Right.
I'm not going to be able to use ChatGPT to become a CFO tomorrow. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Like, the end. It's going to give me weird money advice I should never follow.
Yeah, for real. Don't trust that.
Oh man, that would be terrible. So, when you think about visibility, what has been the hardest part and what has finally worked?
That is a great question. I think when I think about visibility, it's um it's hard because there's the trap of like, if I just reach more people, that's what I need. I just need to like have, get my word out to more people and like, pay for ads and stuff. But I think the lesson I've learned this year in recent years is it's about the right people, and it really does come down to those individual relationships and being seen, being visible for your expertise with the right people, and not just about blanketing the internet with your message. Um, and also, I mean, I'm always telling my clients this, but like, visibility is one thing, but having a message that actually connects with those people is another thing. So like, you can be visible for all the wrong reasons and people aren't going to buy from you. But if you are clear on who you are and what you offer in your message, visibility becomes a lot easier because people can understand your message. And it doesn't matter if you're not reaching, tens and thousands of people. It's really just the people who matter. And if they connect with your message, that's the most important thing. Um, so I think, yeah, I think for me, in terms of visibility for myself, uh, kind of crystallizing my own message, which as a copywriter and messaging strategist, I'm like, I should know this. Like, why is this coming so hard to me? But it is a totally different thing when you try to do your work on yourself. Um, and also just in like shifting industries, I moved from the wine industry over to kind of health and wellness coaching, and it's a totally different person. So I kind of came in with, you know, my wine being like, okay, I know copywriting, like whatever, it's all the same thing. Cause to me, it kind of is, but the audience comes at it from a totally different perspective. So for me, just getting visible with the right people, with the right message was a big learning curve. Um, but it really came down to those kind of individual relationships, talking to people and listening and understanding. Um, I think that goes a long way in just making yourself become more visible and connect.
When you said that, I was like, oh yeah, it took me like a year to do my website. And I know I need to make little updates because I believe in like little tweaks and things have changed since I've had this podcast talking to so many of you.
Right.
Honestly, my podcast isn't even on my website, everybody. Bum,
It's
bum, bum. It will be by the time you hear this.
okay.
Um, but yeah, it's not. Fun fact. Or at least not on the homepage.
Mm.
And it makes me giggle because I'm now so married to the words that are there, but I know they need to be slightly tweaked. And I was like, but it took me a whole year.
I go through this again. It's so embarrassing when I'm like, the amount of struggling I went through just to do my own copywriting. But then
Mhm.
I see other copywriters, like I had a copy coach who said the exact same thing. And I'm like, okay, it's not just me.
It's not just you.
It's hard to write about yourself.
I
And
think
then
it's
I'm
also
like,
because we
I don't
naturally
know how
copy.
other people are doing it for their brand. Like my clients, I'm like, how were you even trying to do this on your own? I I don't like, please, like, let me help you.
Yeah, it is hard. It's very hard. Is it faster now that we have I actually put myself through my own process like 3 weeks ago.
Nice. How did it
Uh-huh.
go?
Honestly, kind of great. I realized that my messaging needs to be a little bit more casual.
Oh.
Even though people say that, like, they see me on the internet, then they meet me and they're like, there's no change. Like, you're clearly the same person.
Mhm.
But I realized, like, when I went back to read it, I was like, meh, I mean, yeah, I guess. Like, if I was talking to my dad, but if I'm talking, like you said, over drinks, like,
Yeah, not
there
a
will
best
be more
friend.
bold truths put out.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah, a little bit more edge.
mhm,
Um,
I'm slightly edgier than I think what people who don't know me assume. Surprise. So, Chloe, how do you differentiate yourself from others in your space without feeling performative?
um, that's another great question. I think, um, I when I was sort of working through my branding, that's something I asked myself a lot. Um, I think I looked for myself in my own branding and something that I do with my clients. I really looked at my what made my experience unique and different. And it kind of came down to my wine industry experience. And at first I was like, oh my God, like this makes me so irrelevant. People are going to be like, wine, what the heck? Like, why would I work with someone? And then I realized, like, wait, no, I learned so much in this industry about not just selling a product, but selling a vibe and an
Mhm.
experience and the emotions behind that. And I was like, that all was actually so valuable. And I subconsciously bring that into my writing every day and my messaging and like the way I approach things. So for me, it kind of became like getting ChatGPT wine drunk. Like that's what makes me unique because I'm doing things to your AI that you're not going to be getting anywhere else. And it starts with, the way we look at your brand and the way I kind of turn it into a strategy and a framework and then program that in. So I sort of like to, and even with working with clients, I'm like, what are all the things you did that might not feel like it's an edge? And how can we lean into that? Because that actually is the thing that gives you an edge. Like that's what makes you different from everyone else. So like celebrate it and use it and learn from it. Um, so I think that's, and I think it's not just like, oh, I was in wine, but all the kind of messaging lessons I got from working in wine definitely kind of changed my whole approach.
I 1000% agree with that. I don't openly talk on my website that I coach cheer, but I will honestly say that it does truly impact how I show up.
Yeah.
And so and I always tell people, I'm like, people assume cheerleaders are this like happy go lucky humans and we're so excited to be here. No, no. We are really intense humans. Yes. We're
Uh,
really strong humans and we know how to lead and
yeah.
we know how to make it look really easy, but
Mm,
it's a lot of hard work.
yeah.
And, it's also hard work to make things look easy and effortless
Yeah.
um, in the span of 2 minutes and 30 seconds on a map. But to coach that is another version on top of itself.
Hmm.
And, I do that every day doing brand strategy. I'm coaching you how to do the scary thing. I'm coaching you on how to throw a human in the air or be thrown in the air and caught and trust that you can like go full out. And
Yeah.
those things might not be relatable to everyone, but like you said, like the wine industry taught you about emotion and how to evoke it and how to pull these
Yeah.
things out. Like cheer taught me how to lead and how to take risks and make it look effortless. Like
Yeah.
they are us and it
Yeah, and
doesn't
it's
go
so
away.
relevant to what you're doing. Like, sure, at first glance, it's like what you're not doing acrobatics in work, but yeah, it's all those lessons. Like you learned how to work with people and how to bring out their best and how to motivate them and lead them. And like that's so relevant to the work that you're doing and the
I,
way that you do it differently than anyone else,
uh,
probably.
I mean, it's very true. Like I know how to smile when it is like 30 degrees and it's raining and you wish it was actually snow because that would be a little bit more easy and they're losing. And all you want is to go
I
inside.
just go home. Please happen.
Oh my goodness. It's clearly football season while we're talking. So, what conversations or messages do you want to be known for leading?
Um, I Well, I love talking about messaging, just writing about yourself. But I think beyond that, using AI the right way and different ways to train it and kind of like taking ownership of your AI. I think a lot of people don't realize that they can do that. They don't know how to do it. And that's something I'm trying to do more and more is like telling people like don't let it erase your voice and turn you into another generic post. Like you can do things to kind of take your power back and make sure it sounds like you. And that's what I try to teach people. That's what I make sure my clients do. That's definitely something I talk about a lot and will continue to talk about.
Oh my goodness, I just heard you say that and I just like got like the itch to be like, okay, Chloe, can I create like a half VIP day offer where you can just build that for people? Okay, thanks, let me do
Yeah.
that.
I might need
I
more than
just so
half a
badly was like, don't worry. It happens all day, every day with this one. Well, maybe I will follow somebody's advice and share a picture of my desk and I can show everybody the level of chaotic genius that happens
ah,
beyond the flowers that everybody always sees.
they're beautiful flowers.
Here we are. Actually, they are really holding up for this week. Clearly winter flowers can live forever.
Are they like
Also, they
or
so they are what is in here? They're like these cabbage roses that actually look like cabbage
oh
and
cute.
eucalyptus. And then the Delilahs are dying, but and then they have these dry flowers that essentially just look like dry flowers.
Oh,
I have
cool.
gone to the same vendor at this farmer's market for almost 6 years now, buying bouquets of flowers every Saturday.
I
So
love it. Supporting your local vendor and your home is always beautiful.
I always have flowers. And I cannot wait till I have a huge home where I have to buy like 50 of them
You
just
want
because
bouquets
I need
everywhere.
them. Yeah. Like it's
Bathroom, one for the nook.
yes, like one when I swear I set my keys, like I'm gonna be her, everybody. I love them, I love them, I love them.
Yeah.
So um how do you define success for your brand today? Is it putting flowers everywhere? And how has that evolved since you began?
Flowers, definitely. They just change the vibe of everything. Um, but no, I think success is working with people that I'm like truly obsessed with and could talk with for hours and hours. Um, and having like the freedom in my own schedule to, plan out when I'm working with people and when I have me time and not, running the rat race, 9 hours a day, 5 days a week, but like building freedom into my week so that, I can build it around me and my energy and just working with the right clients instead of serving everyone, everything.
I love that.
Yeah.
Just freedom of time.
Yeah.
We need more of it. I love
Hmm.
the work that I do, but I could spend more times on the beach back to those mojitos and margaritas.
Yeah, that sounds lovely.
So, if someone listening is standing on the edge of their own Luxe Leap, what advice would you give them?
I would say invest, maybe not necessarily money, but invest in education and learning and yourself because you're not going to know what you're not going to know. Like you really like you could spend years trying to figure it all out yourself, whether you're trying to like start a new business or make a change or create anything. You could try to figure it out on your own, but it's going to take a long time because you're going to be, you know, not you won't even know where to start. You're going to be like, googling at midnight and trying to figure it out. But I think learning as much as you can and leveling up your skills and finding teachers who like can show you the way, who have been there and know what you're going through, that collapses the timeline and suddenly you're doing huge things in a fraction of the time that it would have took you on your own. So I think it's really getting support and help is a game changer for me, and I think that's what a lot of people are hesitant to do because it's an investment or it's a lot of time or it's oh well I should be able to figure this out, so I'm just going to like keep researching it. But it really comes down to knowing what you don't know and having someone tell you what to do, or at least show you what to do.
It's so important. It is so, so important. And I always tell people to double down on that. Like, if you end up in one of those programs and you're like, oh, it wasn't worth it, it was worth it because
Mhm.
it showed you exactly what you won't tolerate and what
Mm.
you can do better.
Yeah, that's that's so true. That's a really good takeaway.
So there are gold nuggets in everything, everybody.
Yeah.
Um, so what's next for you, Chloe?
What's next for me? I am going to continue working with awesome people. I think definitely, as AI evolves and gets better and better, I'm going to kind of keep refining my own methods for it, and just making sure that my tools are as innovative as possible. But then also, I think I'm playing around with like what we were saying, like we build our own custom GPTs to do our own things, but bringing some of that in for clients, like very targeted, specific custom GPTs. So like I made one that just identifies your voice. Like it goes through kind of the whole process that probably same thing you do, like when you're helping someone nail down their voice, like the steps you go through. So things like that, whether it's a bot that does just your voice or just helps you with like creating comments on LinkedIn or just something that writes you posts, like and making it like adaptable with all the other messaging that we've been doing. So building out more tools for clients so that they get more of their time back and get great writing for all the different things they need.
Oh,
um
I love that. I love that. We're putting it in part of your like package that I said we're creating. Okay. Okay. Like it's
Awesome.
happening.
I love it. I'm
Um,
excited.
so I just put that in the universe. I'm like, no, it's going down.
Yeah.
Everybody needs this. So you can take a girl out of marketing. You can't take marketing out of the girl.
No.
Well, last two fun questions because it wouldn't be the Luxe Leap without them.
Okay.
What does a day living a luxurious life look like to you?
A luxurious life. Oh, I think my ideal dream luxurious life would start off with a massage or a facial, depending on the week. Because you can't do it all the time. But have an amazing self-care moment. Um, doing a few hours of really deep client work, whether it's connecting with someone or going off and doing the work. Um, having an amazing lunch break and just like having me time, going outside, getting the sunshine. Um, and then signing off early and like making some fantastic dinner. Like looking up, like I love cooking and food, and I'm obsessed with food and wine and pairing food and wine. So I think having time in my day to like just make something amazing and tasty and have a relaxing night. Then maybe some hot tub time after that.
I love it. And just you're like, I just want to choose whatever I want to choose and eat.
Yeah, pretty
I
much.
do.
Just gonna enjoy
I
it all.
do love good food. Can't
Mhm.
can't say no to that.
Yeah.
Well, last one, best one. In one word, what is your primary motivation in business?
Oh, primary motivation. Um, I mean, this probably sounds cheesy and cliche, but I really do want to help people who are helping people. Um, I kind of realized like I'm not out there making people live healthier lives or better lives, but I can help the people who are doing that. And I really do want to like be a force for like positive change in other people's lives. So if I can do that by connecting those people with their ideal people, then like that's what I'm going to do. That's kind of what motivates me.
Oh my goodness, everybody. Well, thank you, Chloe. That was incredible. Um, I just love the alignment between the two of us, and
Me
it
too.
is just such a joy and filled with so many funny moments that I can't even put to words how grateful I am right now because clearly I needed to talk about margaritas and cheer and all
Of
things messaging. And you're the perfect person to do it with. So thank you.
course.
And
Thank you for having me.
of course, of course. So, for all my listeners out there, if today's episode has you rethinking of how you're showing up, how your messaging is showing up, and you're ready for a brand that actually turns heads, I'd love to invite you to book your Brand Meetup Brand Breakthrough. It's my video deep dive brand audit that helps you see exactly what's working, what's not, and what needs to shift to attract your champagne clientele. And at this point, you're probably going to get a little bit of Chloe mixed in it because there's no way I could do it without her. So you can grab your spot at my website, graydigitalmktg.co/brandmuta-review. Or if you're like me and said, I don't have time to go find a pen and paper, it's down in the show notes. Just click the link. But start turning clarity into confidence because let's be honest, y'all, vanilla opinions don't pop bottles, they don't get margaritas, and they definitely don't get weekly massages and facials. So, Chloe, how can people get in touch with you?
They can find me on LinkedIn. I am Chloe Jenkins, or at my website, chloecreativeagency.com.
I love it. Well, Chloe, again, thank you so much. And everyone will tune in next week on Thursday with another incredible woman who is building an extraordinary brand. Talk soon.
Yeah,
Bye.
thank you.